Yo everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a review on the holiday collection by Anastasia Beverly Hills. Now, she recently launched it a couple of days ago, and I from the collection bought the brand new Sultry eyeshadow palette as well as the limited edition metallic liquid lipstick set as well. As part of the collection, they also released for the first time a bunch of glitters as well as a lip gloss set as well. I wasn't too keen on the glitters, no reason other than I've got so many glitters as it is, and from what I could see of the lip glosses, they were the more sheerer kind with lots of shimmer, whereas I prefer ones to be a bit more opaque and have more colour to them. So that's the reason why I stuck to these two. And the reason that I actually got this, not gonna lie, the addict in me just wanted that middle shade. It's called Phantom, and that's what I'm actually wearing on my lips today. I've actually filmed this entire makeup look, which will go up at some point, and I also used the Sultry palette to create this look. So first off, this retails at 46 whopping pounds. As always, Anastasia Beverly Hills eyeshadow palettes are quite expensive, similar to like Huda Beauty's ones, but hers I believe have more eyeshadows in it, whereas these have got 14 shades within them. And then this set costs £26. They are not full size ones, they're like kind of 3/4 size. You know, it's supposed to last you over the holidays really. That's why they've released small ones. So let's start off first off with the Sultry palette. So this is the box that it comes in. Very deceiving because it does not look anything like this on the inside. And by the way, the glitter comes off. At some point I'm going to have to bin this because every time I touch the box I end up with glitter bits all over my hands. It's not like loads of glitter, but still I would rather have none. But it's not the same on the actual palette itself, it's just the box, so that's fine. At least this is a little bit different to what they usually do. Yeah, so from what I can see, they were made in the USA. And so let's start off with the Sultry palette. Now, from what I've seen online, and when I say online I mean Instagram, Trend Moods page, because she's always the one that releases it first. People are really nasty on her page sometimes, like it's just makeup people, calm down. When they first announced this, I think they just showed the front cover, so everybody was like, oh my god, it's going to be glittery and gorgeous and we're so excited. Then they showed the inside and everyone was like, oh, that's not holidays, that's so dull, that's so boring, boo, that's not what we expected from Anastasia Beverly Hills. I think people have got very short memories. Do you not remember what the last holiday palette was? The Prism palette. That had bright colours in it, that had shimmery shades in it, but it also wasn't one of their most popular palettes. Now this one, I personally think is actually a really good palette. Now I think the reason why people feel slightly deceived is mostly because of the outside. Because from what you can see on the inside, there isn't even a shade, which is that colour there. So it's almost like, well, why did you do it? And from what I can see what is written on the box, it says it's an essential smoky eyeshadow collection. See, now that's where people got a little bit confused, because the name Sultry is obviously sexy, smoky, deep shades, you know, going out at night, you know, like my background, like my top. I'm actually on my way out after this. I filmed this video, I'm on my way out for a night out. So I'm going for a very sexy, sultry, smoky kind of look. And what they have tried to do here is come up with a range of eyeshadows which are a smoky eyeshadow palette. Now, when it comes to smoky eyeshadows, you generally tend to have these kind of shades. I mean, the orange one is a little bit of a random odd one out there, but it still works very well with all of the colours. You've got different types of golds, bronzes, ivories. There's like a really bright silver in here as well. Rose quartz to kind of throw it off a little bit, but it's not a very like intense colour, but it's very pigmented. So these are the kind of shades that people generally tend to use to create smoky eyeshadow looks. You've got your taupey shade, you've got your black noir, which is in so many palettes. You've got a slate colour, which is like a deep grey. Then you've got like a warm transitional shade. Then you've got a deep brown. And then you've got a very pale ivory sort of shade, a creamy shade to blend it all out. I personally think that this is the perfect smoky eyeshadow palette. So in terms of people saying, oh, you know, it's boring, well, it kind of isn't, because it does exactly what the claim and the aim of the palette is, to be a smoky eyeshadow palette. And these are the kind of looks that a lot of people tend to go for. Not everybody goes for bright glittery reds, bright greens, bright blues. And I'm not talking about myself here, somebody who wears every colour under the spectrum. I'm talking about your everyday gal and guy out there. A lot of people tend to prefer to go for more neutral tones. Golds and silvers are a lot of people's go-to colours. Now when you do a smoky eye look, you don't really tend to go for a bright purple. You generally tend to go for a gold mixed with browns and blacks. And then if you're going for something more cool toned, you'll tend to go for more taupey shades and more silvers. And that's what I've actually done today. I've used a lot of the more cool toned looks to create a silver smoky eye look. So in that respect, I think Anastasia Beverly Hills has done really well. It says what it does on the box. Now, if you were expecting a holiday eyeshadow palette to have greens and golds and stuff, yeah, fine, okay. But I think that they've done really well in sticking to other very typical holiday shades like golds and silvers and bronzes. Because that is what a lot of people do tend to wear out during the holiday season, the winter season, where it's dark outside and you want to wear something black and sparkly like I'm doing. A lot of people do tend to go for more black sparkly kind of looks for the winter months. So that's just my little 2 cents there. It comes with the standard Anastasia Beverly Hills brush, which I actually think is a really good quality brush for something that comes free with the palette. It's got a fluffy brush on one end and then one for packing on colour. I have actually used this to smoke out the black in the corner of my eye. Now what I like about this eyeshadow palette is because there are 14 shades altogether, there are 7 mattes and then there are 7 metallic shimmery shades. So there's a really nice equal mix. I hate it when you get an eyeshadow palette which has got 1 matte in it and you know that that is going to be the one that you finish first. So the fact that there is an equal mix of everything, it should hopefully mean that when one product starts to go down quite a bit, other ones will as well. It is the classic standard Anastasia Beverly Hills quality in terms of mattes that you have to be very careful how hard you press it because they are very, very, very pigmented, pure pigment, and they can be quite powdery, so you will kick up a lot of dust, which is unnecessary because you'll just blow it away. So a little bit goes a really long way. The shades are gorgeous, buttery, easy to blend. The same with the shimmery shades as well. You also have to go in with a very light hand. What I did when I filmed this makeup look, I actually used the shade Cyborg and I applied it firstly with my finger, and then because I've got long nails and I couldn't get into the corners of my eyes, I just used a brush to kind of diffuse it out. Now when you use a brush, a packing on brush, an eyeshadow brush, to press onto here, press very gently, otherwise it will come off in chunks because the metallics are very, very soft, very buttery. They have got a lot of intense pigment in them, so you only need a really little amount for it to spread over your eyes and get that really intense look that you want. Obviously you can use this not just in night time for smoky looks. This is a great everyday wear kind of palette as well because the matte shades are like a very soft brown, a very soft taupey shade. So you can apply that to the crease and then you can use one of the metallic shades, but just go in with a much lighter hand, sheer it out, voila, you're done. You can go to work, college, school, whatever it is, and you don't have to worry about looking overdone like as if you're going out for a night out. So I personally give this eyeshadow palette a 10 out of 10. It does exactly what it says on the box. Like I said, it's a sultry, smoky eyeshadow palette. I think quite a lot of people will love this. For those of you out there that have got very similar eyeshadow palettes, because let's be honest, the smoky eye is not something new, it's not a new concept out there, you may want to give this a miss. But for those of you out there that really love these kind of shades, you will love it more so because of the quality of the palette as well, because I believe Anastasia Beverly Hills has got excellent quality eyeshadow palettes. It also says on their website that 2 of these shades are 2 cult favourite shades and 12 all new shades. What are the cult favourite ones? Twig and Noir, I think? Noir is in every bloody palette. Noir and I think Twig sounds familiar, or it could be Fresh. Is Fresh in the Modern Renaissance palette? I think it is. I can't remember off the top of my head. But it's nice to see that they've got brand new shades in here as well. We're okay as consumers to reuse 1 or 2 previous shades. I hate it when eyeshadow palettes come out with like, here's 14 of our most top shades. Like, no one cares, we already have them. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you swatches of all of these on my medium skin tone. I will swatch it one swipe with my finger, and then I will let you know what my thoughts are. Right, so here you can see it's in the classic Anastasia Beverly Hills cardboard type of box. And the first one I'm going to show you is this one here called Fresh. So Fresh is a matte ivory pinkish sort of shade. I use this all over the lid to just neutralize my eyes. A lot of people will find this one useful to blend out other shades with. It's really good quality. So this next shade here is called Pearl. This one is a gorgeous metallic shade, and it's like got a whitish pinkish undertone to it. I actually use this on my brow bone today. This shade here is called Steampunk. This one is a stunning bronze metallic shade. It's gorgeous. This shade here is called Rose Quartz. Another absolutely beautiful shade. It's like a mix between a peachy, corally, pinky sort of shade. Really beautiful, but obviously as it's called rose, it's more on the rose side. This shade here is called Ember. Now the quality of this one is excellent. It's like a greenish bronzy brown. Now the only reason I'm not a big fan of these kind of shades is they don't look so good on me. On my skin tone, they look like I've got a dirty eyes, if that makes sense. But obviously, depending on your skin tone, will be how it shows up. This shade here is called Bloom. This one is a stunning coral pink shade. Look at that one swipe. It did not drag, snag. It's not patchy. It's a beautiful, beautiful colour. This shade here is called Birch. This is a very odd sort of shade. It's like a mixture between taupe and like a caramel brown. But again, another amazing matte shade. Excellent quality, and it's not patchy, and it's easy to blend. Okay, moving on to the next row. This first shade here is called Cinder. Cinder is another beautiful metallic shade. It's like a taupey colour with little bits of gold in it. I think it's definitely one of those everyday metallic kind of shades. So like work friendly, school friendly. This next shade here is called Twig. Twig is a matte shade, and it's a classic taupe shade. Excellent quality, as you can see with that one swipe. There's no patchiness, and it's very, very pigmented. This shade is called Teak. This one is a beautiful metallic golden brown shade. This shade is called Dystopian. This one is a dark cool toned brown. As you can see, slightly patchy. I tried to do one clean swipe, but it seemed to be more pigmented on the area I blobbed it on first and then dragged it down. And I definitely found that when I used this on my eyes, it took a little bit more elbow work to get this to blend out. So that's just something to bear in mind. This shade is called Cyborg. This one is a very unique shade. This is the one I'm wearing on my lid. It looks silver in the pan, and then when you apply it, it's got like a metallic violet sort of shift to it, like a lilac-y sort of shift. Really beautiful, intensely pigmented, and amazing quality. This shade is called Slate, and as the name suggests, it is a slate grey colour. Look how intensely pigmented that is compared to the Dystopian shade. It's not patchy at all. Really, really pigmented, and it's stunning. And last but not least, Noir at the end. And as you guys know, it is a flat matte black. Not as bad as the quality as Dystopian, but it is still a very difficult shade to blend out. Not as difficult, but you've got to give it a little bit of work to make sure you blend it out. As you can see, when I applied it there, dragged it down, the colour started to become slightly patchy. Okay, so now let's move on to the metallic liquid lipstick set. It comes in this pretty package, which obviously lots of people would love to have as a present over the holidays. And it comes in these 3 beautiful shades. And then you've just got to slip it out and pop them out. Oh dear. So they come in the classic Anastasia Beverly Hills style of liquid lipstick. These have been described as full coverage pigments in 3 brand new shades. And they've got the standard flat paddle doe foot applicator, as you guys are used to seeing with Anastasia Beverly Hills. I really like the applicator. It makes it really easy to apply. And they are, of course, metallic. So this first one here is called Blizzard, which I actually decided to wear on my tear duct today. So this is how it looks swatched and wet. Sorry, I'm not doing it on my lips. I'm recovering from a spot near my lip and I didn't want to aggravate it. I'm sure you guys can understand. So this is described as multi-dimensional pink pearls in an icy soft pink base. Now forgive me, but I would not call this full coverage. I can still see my skin through it, and that's the main reason I wore it on my eyes rather than on my lips. I think that this would work amazingly as a lip topper, but I definitely dispute their claim of it being full coverage. Now this is Phantom, the one that I'm wearing in today's video. I absolutely love it. It is full on, really intense, very opaque, gorgeous, kind of deepened, blackened, reddish sort of shade. It's described as Bordeaux, like the wine, and that is a perfect description of this. And this is how it swatches, and as you can compare it to the one next to it, you can see which one is full coverage and which one isn't. Now, a lot of people are not fans of metallic liquid lipsticks, but I definitely love red sort of shades. I think they look stunning and definitely perfect for the holiday season. And the last one here is called Mai Tai. Now, this one is another definite full coverage one. As you can see, you cannot see my skin through it. It's described as a soft peachy gold. So those are all the swatches of both the liquid lipsticks and the eyeshadow palette. Now, for those of you that are going to ask me, are these must-haves? I would say neither of them are must-haves. It will definitely be down to personal preference and what kind of shades you prefer. Now, for somebody idiotic like me who bought a liquid lip set just because she wants one of the lipsticks, I would personally not say that to other people that spend 20 odd pounds just for one lipstick. In hindsight, I'm like, did I really need it? No, you were just being greedy. So, but if you do like these colours, by all means, invest in it. As for the eyeshadow palette, I would definitely say this is more of an investment than the liquid lipstick set. Again, it is down to personal preference if you like these kind of shades. The quality is excellent. One or two shades are a little bit off, but the vast majority of them are really, really good. So that's it for my review of the holiday collection by Anastasia Beverly Hills. Hope you guys enjoyed the review. Like, comment, make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you all soon. Bye.